We are in Psalm 73, a psalm of Asaph. We just read this psalm yesterday. It is, honestly, it has been for a long time. I love to preach this psalm. I especially used to preach it to young adults a lot because it sets up the journey of the Christian life in a secular, God-denying world. So it is 28 verses, and it starts with some affirmations, but then goes deep into some doubts and the experience of living in a world where it seems like good things happen to bad people and bad things happen to good people. Or a better way to say it is, it seems like God-denying people flourish and God-believing, God-following people sometimes are not. And you begin to wonder, like what's really happening, and whose side is God really on, and where is God in the mix of all this, and why isn't he intervening? And that's exactly the experience of Asaph when he's writing this psalm. And he comes to a point in the psalm where he's about to give up. He's about to walk away. He says, I was afraid to even admit that I was having these feelings, and I felt this way until, and then there's this turning point. Until, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but the turning point is critical. But once the secular world is unveiled, unmasked, once the scales fall off of his eyes, the doubt, he begins to see through the surface. He realizes that God's playing the long game, and that the true life, the true source of blessing and the goodness of life is found in really following God. Now, the big picture of this psalm is really a journey that we all take. We all know what is true. We come into situations and circumstances where we hear the arguments against it, and we see what in the short term looks like something else is true, and then we begin to doubt, and we go through times where our faith is challenged and seems to be coming undone, but then God, in the right moment, in the right way, steps in, recaptures and reclaims our heart. And I love where this psalm says, my strength and my heart fails, but God is the strength of my heart. Now, I like how Warren Wiersbe breaks this down. He breaks it into 4 sections, okay? And I want you to just track along. Maybe you can mark your Bible if you'd like to. So the believer, number 1, is the believer standing on what he knows, and that is verse 1. Secondly, the doubter slipping from where he is standing. That's verses 2 and 3. So truly, that's the statement, the emphatic declaration, verse 1. Verse 2, but. You want to look for those transitional words, those contrasting words. But, okay, the doubter slipping. Part 3 is verses 4 to 14, long section. The wrestler struggling with what he sees and feels. Seems like the ungodly have it made, and the godly have a struggle, or those that choose to follow God. Seems like their struggles are greater. Okay, so what's going on? But then we see verse 15 of part 4, the worshiper seeing the bigger picture. Actually, it's 5. Did I say 4 or 5 parts? I can't remember. Part 5 is verse 23. The conqueror rejoicing over God's goodness. So we see this journey through doubt, through skepticism, moving to not just wrestling, but worshiping, and not just worshiping, but overcoming, conquering. So here's my point, my friend. If you have not taken the journey through doubt, through dismay, through discouragement, this is the psalm. This is going to get you ready for it. Maybe you're taking it right now. Well, God's going to walk with you into that journey. Maybe you've seen this cycle in your life many times. I have. And this psalm I'm reminded of often. The God path is the good path, and the good path is the growing, blessed path. It's the flourishing path. And the world is great at looking like it's flourishing, but not really. They're whitewashed sepulchers. In reality, every believer goes through times of doubt like this psalmist does. And we're going to take this journey with him beginning on Monday. So happy Friday. Have a great weekend. We'll see you again on Monday.